All right, guys, we're gonna stretch out really good this morning. I feel stiff too from sitting all day yesterday at my desk, just blazing through work and not taking enough breaks. So I really want us to stretch out and work all of that out, all of that tightness. But take it easy because, you know, sometimes we need to be a little bit warmer to go further. So just take it easy, listen to your body. If it feels like too much, back off. And that's why you have your blocks so you can kind of have some assistance going a little bit deeper into poses and finding length in poses. All right, so go ahead and bring your knees out wide, toes touch, and walk your hands out. Go ahead and relax the elbows down right now. Maybe rock the hips side to side. Just wiggling that out. And then release the forehead down. Take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale everything out. And with your next inhale, fill up the back of the body. I'm lifting my head just so y'all can hear me a little bit better. Expanding through the shoulder blades. And with your exhale, maybe allow your belly to fall a little bit further between your thighs. Continue to find some deep breaths here. Waking up the body. Notice any areas of tightness. Sometimes child's pose can be a really tough pose to find comfort in. But if you have any pain, find a seated position or laying on your back. Wherever you need to go. The most important thing is that you're able to focus on your breath and really lengthen your breath. One more big breath in through the nose. And let everything go. And with your next inhale, lift up to a tabletop position. And now, if you're not on carpet, if you're on a really hard surface under your mat, you might want to roll up your mat or put extra cushion underneath your knees. We'll do a few things on our knees. So I'm going to go ahead and roll up my mat and then place my knees back down. Having a little extra cushion just helps so you're not going ouchie during your poses. So come on to the tops of the feet here, and I want you to first press those feet into the mat or the ground, and then lift up through the underarms and take your gaze out. Draw the belly button in and up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it all out. And now let's tuck the toes and send the hips back. Coming to kneeling here. Finding that deep toe stretch. And let's stretch out the hands and the fingertips. We're going to stretch everything out. If you type a lot, if you text a lot, our fingers and our hands can become really tight. So let's go ahead and interlace the fingers and press the palms forward. And maybe feel a stretch in the back of the body, rounding the shoulders forward. And then inhale, reach those palms to the sky. Maybe arching back a little bit. And then release the arms down, rolling the wrists. You can come onto the tops of the feet if you're beginning to hurt. Rolling the wrists there. And then taking the back of your hand, pressing into those fingers, draw the palm towards your body. So feel a stretch in the wrist there. And then flip it to where the palm is facing out as you gently create some resistance on those fingers there. And then come to the other side. Just nice and gentle, doing something with your hands you don't normally do every day. And then let's open and close, really spreading the fingers out wide. And then go ahead and come back up to your tabletop position. And let's go through a couple rounds of cat and cow, releasing the back. Inhale, drop the belly for cow pose. Maybe shift forward a little bit more than you usually would. Exhale, round the spine. Let's come up onto fingertips here, really lifting up as high as you can go. Release the neck. And then inhale, dropping back down to cow pose, shifting forward some. Exhale into your cat pose, trying to make these as long as you can. Inhale back into your cow pose. Maybe roll your neck or rock your head side to side a little bit here. And exhale back into cat. One last round, finding any wiggle movement you would like to. Exhale it out. And find that tabletop position. And we're going to send the right foot back, press the ball of the foot into the ground, to your mat, send your heel towards the back. And now let's swing that leg around out to the side. And then slowly walk the hands in, lifting up. I'm going to turn to the side so y'all can see me a little bit better. All right, so hips are right above the knee and kind of send the hips forward a little bit. You might feel a little stretch right here. Let's reach the arms out wide, turn the palms face up. And take your gaze up so you have that opening in your chest. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And then let's take the right arm down that leg, reaching up and folding over. Ooh, that feels good. Still sending the hips forward a little bit. And now inhale, let's go all the way over, planting that arm down, reaching the other one up and over. So really extending through those fingertips all the way to that foot. Let's take a couple of arm circles here. So we're going to reach up first and then back. Sweep that arm down and rise it up. So just finding a little extra release here. Exhale down. Inhale up, one last big arm circle. Exhale down. Inhale back up. And then using your core strength, slowly rise it back up. Remove your hair and release the arms down. And swing that leg back around into your tabletop position. And let's tuck the toes. And we're going to just send the hips back over the heels, taking a break on our knees for a moment. This time, keep the elbows lifted. Let's walk the hands over to the right. Stack the left hand on top of the right. And exhale, send the hips down a little bit further over your heels. Inhale through center and over to the left side, stacking that right hand on top and send the hips down. And inhale through center and let's come back up to our tabletop position. Send the left foot back this time. First, sending that heel back, finding that stretch there. And then let's swing that leg out wide, and I'm gonna turn around again. And walk the hands in, coming up onto that knee there. Ooh, I felt a pop, but it doesn't feel good. A good feeling pop. Send the hips forward just slightly here. And turn that foot to where your toes are facing forward if that feels okay. Otherwise, go wherever it feels better. And again, let's reach the arms out wide. And this time, maybe take a little bit deeper release in that neck, dropping the head back. And then rising up, inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And exhale, let's fold over that leg. Ooh, this sounds tighter. Inhale all the way up and exhale to the opposite side, reaching that top arm up and over. Trying not to let your hips sink back. See if you can lift the hips forward. Maybe you need to come up onto fingertips or block there. And using, let's take some arm circles here. So let's reach the arm up and back. Exhale down through center. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale up last time. Exhale down. And with this one, let's rise all the way up using that core strength. And let's swing the leg back around, coming into your tabletop position. And unfold your mat. If you have it folded, let's come into downward facing dog. And then one knee, then the other. Maybe shift the shoulders side to side a little bit. And take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let's crouch down. So press into the hands to the fingertips and try to crouch down at the back of your mat. It's okay if you start shaking. Draw that belly button in and up. Engage that low belly. And then let's shoot out into a high plank. Go ahead and drop the knees down. And exhale, chaturanga. Lower all the way down to the mat. Let's untuck the toes and we're going to take that wide arm cobra. So coming out onto fingertips. Press into the tops of the feet. And inhale. Fingertips are pressing down as you open the chest up. So your breath has a lot of room right here. Exhale, release it back down. And inhale, lifting back up. Exhale down. One more time as Jake finds his sweet spot on the pillow. Inhale, lifting back up. This time, let's roll the shoulders back one at a time as you lower all the way down. And place the hands next to your sides, tuck those toes, lift up to tabletop, and into your downward facing dog. Breathing here. Roll the head around, releasing that. And we're going to take three-legged dog, so find that center, grounding that left foot down first. And lift the right leg up, just a little bit. It doesn't have to go high. Hips are square, point those toes towards the ground. Now, if you'd like to, you can bend that knee and open the hips. Ooh, that always feels so good. And roll the ankle around. And then release it down, coming all the way forward. And let's drop down into a low lunge, dropping that back knee down. And stay right here. Let's walk the right foot out nice and wide, getting a good deep hip stretch here. Now you can use your blocks if you want to stay up high this morning. If you feel like your hips are a little bit too tight, you can send the hips back some using your blocks. It's up to you. I want you to just release it here. Don't think about tucking or hugging in. I just want you to release it down and let go in that area. All right, you might want to grab your blocks here if you don't have them yet. And we're going to keep the foot out wide and send the hips back for a half split. That foot is out wide. Usually it's straight forward. We're going to keep it out and flex that foot, just finding something a little bit different in this stretch. Now I want you to hug the belly in, lifting that belly button up. You can have the back toes tucked or on top of the foot. And now either with your blocks or walking your hands over, maybe you can reach that right hand on the outside of that leg or all the way over. Ooh. See how far you can walk the hands over. Still hugging that low belly in. Now let's walk it back through center. And we're going to send the hips back forward and lift the back knee up. I'm just playing around with my blocks this morning. That right foot is still out a little bit wider and hips distance. Now, if you can or if you want to try it, we're going to bend that back knee and spring forward so both feet are out nice and wide. And we're going to drop down into Malasana. Now you can use your blocks if you'd like to and allow the hips to just sink down. Sitting right there, press the backs of the arms into the inner thighs. So we're going to yogi squat and try to lift the chest up. You can remove the blocks one at a time, seeing if it feels okay on your knees, stopping where you need to. And now slowly release the hands down, and we're going to lift the hips up. Coming into a forward fold here. Let's ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows and just sway side to side. A good bend in the knees. And now release the hands down. Bring the left foot in the center. And we're going to cross the right foot over. So our feet are crossed. And you can keep your hands on the blocks if you'd like to, or leave them on the mat. And go ahead and walk those hands out wide to the right again. So again, just finding a different hip stretch here. And exhale back to center. Release that foot. Bring them back underneath your hips. And let's lift up halfway. Get the blood flow back to the brain. Draw those shoulders back. And exhale, fold it down. Uttanasana. We're going to step it back into high plank. And with knees up or knees down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Draw the low belly up. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're really getting into the hips this morning. Hopefully they feel a little bit more released, so you can move there. And let's take three-legged dog on the left side. Hovering that left foot up as high as you want to. Really press into the fingertips. And then open the hips, drop that foot back. Breathing here. Roll the ankle. And then square the hips back off and let's send the foot through. Dropping it down, bringing that foot out nice and wide. Drop the back knee down. And just mirror what you did on the other side. Notice if one side is tighter than the other. Bring your attention to that. Maybe it's always one side is tighter all the time. Try to notice your posture during the day, how you walk, how you stand when you're just standing still, if you're like leaning on one side all the time. And now let's send the hips back. That foot is out nice and wide and flex the foot. And now let's walk the hands over to the left side on the outside of that left leg as far as they can go. Breathing here. Keeping a micro bend in that left knee. Now let's walk it back to center. Hands and the hips back forward. Let's lift that back knee up. Pausing here. Sometimes I like to wiggle around a little bit, shifting my hips. Be careful if you do that. But it feels really good finding something different. Now let's bend that back knee and maybe step it right forward out nice and wide. And let's take one more yogi squat, taking those modifications if you'd like to. So turn the toes out, heels in, and drop the booty down. Your spine is nice and long, lengthening through the crown of the head. Pressing those inner thighs open. All right, so let's slowly release the hands down and lift the hips up. Coming into a forward fold, turn the toes straight forward. Hanging out here for a moment, releasing the low back. Let's cross the opposite foot over, bring that right foot in and cross the left foot over this time. And fold it forward. You can keep that back knee a little bit soft so you're not pressing into that right there. And then let's slowly walk the hands over to the right this time. Kind of think about that for a moment. Releasing the head down. Breathing here. And then slowly walk it back to center. And let's take one more yogi squat, taking those modifications if you'd like to. So turn the toes out, heels in, and drop the booty down. Your spine is nice and long, lengthening through the crown of the head. Pressing those inner thighs open. You want the weight of gravity to allow your hips to just sink down. However, still engage your glutes here so it's not just dumping into your knees. One more deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, release it out. Now slowly, if you can, maybe bring your booty all the way down and plant your feet down. Place the hands behind your back, fingertips are facing forward. We're going to take a reverse tabletop here. So whenever you're ready, let's lift the hips up as high as you want to go. Go ahead and feel where maybe is stretching in your shoulders, your chest. And with your breath, go a little bit further, lifting the hips up maybe a little bit higher, dropping the head back. Hug the low belly in. Slowly exhale, releasing down. And then let's maybe round over our legs, hugging our shins here. Release the neck down. All right, maybe scoot back just a little bit. We're going to take one forward fold over our legs here. And be really careful. Keep a micro bend in the knees. Let me move Ricky so you can see my legs. I like to keep a good bend in my knees so then I can engage the feet and I have some wiggle room in my hips and then fold forward. So find wherever it feels good with your legs. Let's sit up nice and tall. Reach the arms to the sky. And then exhale, reach forward, reach out. And then allow your hands to land where they want to go. Again, your knees have a really good bend. Maybe you want to grab the bottoms of your feet or your big toes with your peace fingers. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears as much as you can. And then slowly walk it back in. Let's shake the knees out. And plant the feet down. Let's come all the way down to your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Let's rock side to side. All right, let's grab the big toes with your peace fingers or the outsides of your feet, and let's take a happy baby. You can straighten the legs if you want to. That kind of feels good for me right now. But just open up the chest, allow the hips to open. If your knees are bent, have your feet facing the ceiling. Rock side to side if it feels good for you. Playing around like a happy little baby does. They're not usually this flexible though, although they actually are. I just haven't seen a baby do a split though. And let's slowly draw the knees back into your chest. And let's make a teeny tiny ball, bringing your forehead up to your knees, squeezing everything in. And then maybe rock forward and back to come up to seated, or roll over onto one side and come up to a seated position. However you feel like you want to get up there. I kind of feel like rocking around. And crossing the ankles and coming into that final seated position here. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's place the hands over the knees and roll the shoulders back. Roll the neck around. My hips already feel more open right now. Thank goodness. Let's inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, drawing that low belly in. Inhale, reach up one more time. And exhale, pause here with your hands at your heart. Let's find gratitude and all the tension that we were just able to release in our body, all that tension we might have been holding in our hips, making it a little bit easier for blood to flow. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, for allowing me to be your guide. The light in me honors the light, the love, beauty, joy, and peace in each of you. Namaste.